Why are you silent, Elliot?
How is sorry, I was just
weird.
trying to gather my thoughts. I was trying to word this the right way, and Joe, I was wondering how Aspen is this time of year.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, that's pretty good. If everybody
That was nice.
that's watching doesn't quite get it yet, Steve's on mute because Steve.
They can imagine.
Steve's
Why is
fire
Steve on
alarm
mute?
is going
Why
off.
are you on mute?
Why
You're
are you
like,
on
what
mute,
is this,
Steve?
another episode without Steve?
What's that? What?
Hold
There's
on.
something going on. Something about your audio.
Why didn't Steve start the show off really concisely and well?
Right.
Why are they stumbling into the intro of this show?
I don't know. I feel like what I did was pretty concise. I am curious how it is. in
Yeah, he
Aspen,
started
Joe.
it off.
Well, Aspen's wonderful. You'd be surprised. For the past few years, the snowpack has been kind of low, but however, we've got a lot of precipitation this time of year, early actually. The hills opened up a little early, and yeah, man, I've just been carving out some.
That's our boy.
paths.
That's our Joe.
And
Man.
so when you become a cop, you have to grow that mustache, or
No, but it is a choice. Sometimes there are
Now I'm recording.
societal choices that make it feel like you have to do certain things to fit in. So when I'm carving up the slopes, but also laying down the law, you got to have a certain look.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's what I'm at.
So visually, we have Joe Beretta in one corner of the screen, and he's looking dapper and seasonally appropriate. In another corner, we have Steve, who seems to be being really reserved
Yeah,
this
he's quiet
episode.
today.
Steve, let me ask you, can I just ask you an honest question, which is, what is your relationship with your father like?
Yeah.
well, it's complex, but
Okay.
I think I love my father, and I know he loves me. But
I can't quite hear you.
I said I love my father.
He loves his father.
Say that.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix it.
You know what? I rarely
it's
say
DB.
this, but this truly is the worst thing we've ever done.
So basically, when you live in an apartment complex, sometimes there's fire alarms that go off, and sometimes
okay.
it's because of a real emergency, and sometimes it's because this place fucking sucks. You pick which one you think's happening right now.
What a fun game. We like to gamify our podcasts, and every once in a while we like to play, is Steve gonna die? And
Yeah, who knows?
today
I'm
on
either
Is Steve
gonna
gonna
die. I mean, there's three things. I'm either gonna
I still can't
die.
hear you.
I'm either gonna die, or this is gonna be how you'll hear me the whole episode, or in about 15 to an
My
hour,
God.
it'll go away.
We literally
Beating
just
heaven.
literally sat down to record, and Steve's fire alarm at his apartment started going.
Like the second I texted them to go, like, you guys ready to record? And then it goes, bring.
I will say, I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
It is fun.
I think it's funny too. I
see how
love
far
it,
it
dude.
goes.
I love when the world does things that I would do as a joke.
Follow-up question, Steve. Deep down, what do you think the societal implications are of Elon Musk's purchase of one of the biggest social media platforms on the internet?
I think that there's a lot to say about social media
I don't know what it is.
as a format itself, but I feel like social media is just a fad, and I think that eventually it won't be as popular as it is, and I don't think people outside of the internet give a fuck about Elon Musk.
Now, okay, follow-up question, Steve, because I really appreciate this deep dive that we're doing here. When you say that social media is just a fad, do you feel any sense of trepidation about the fact that we've invested so much into social media?
I think that we are
Personal?
just carpenters who were given the tools to work with the wood, and the wood is now a different material, and we have to choose to use different tools to work with those different materials, and I think that we'll adapt. I think people will adapt. I think adapting is the true skill of humanity that we should be known for, I think.
All right, thank you for that, Mr.
Okay,
Zaragoza.
yeah.
But just to consolidate your statement real quick, because I do have to post it on social media, and there's only so many characters. We are all carpenters that just got kick-ass future tools.
I like that.
Great.
That's nice. Also, Joe, your internet's messing up. Not that that's the biggest problem that
It
we
is?
have.
What's wrong with this internet?
Oh, am I
Y'all's
getting
are
on-
all fine. It's been only.
I think the
he's been
biggest problem is AI.
That fire alarm is such a bell. It's not
It's
like
a-
the ones I've heard.
It's a
It sounds
school
like-
bell.
Yeah. No.
It's 100.
It's like, and it's also like right next to my front door.
Yeah, you can tell. You can
It's
tell.
right there. I
It's-
can't go.
Just start
and
screaming.
I'm glad. I'm glad it is alerting, because if it is an emergency, I want to be alerted. But being alerted for this amount of
For
time
a false.
for nothing is bonkers.
All right, so
It's outrageous.
There's a couple positives in this situation.
It's outrageous.
Positive one. At least it's during the day. Could be a lot worse. To be woken out of a dead sleep by any sound.
There you go.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. However, it does lead to.
I hear the fire truck. I hear the fire truck. The fire truck's coming.
I hear it
What-
too.
Can you hear it? Listen.
Wow, we're getting a full run. I hear it. I hear it. You don't know? Not.
I hope they
Guys,
break
they're
down
here. They're
your
here, which
fucking
means
door.
they're here, which means
It's close to coming off.
either the whole building's on fire and I'm gonna die,
No, it's coming off.
or it's about to come off.
Ooh, that's great. Secondary point about your
Um,
fire alarm and your fire alarm experience that we're all currently experiencing with you. There are debilitating audio fire alarms that like make it so you
Yeah.
can't even walk straight. And
Yep.
at least it's not one of those.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The ones where
Yeah.
they vibrate your
The-
soul. You're
Yeah.
like, "Whoa! Whoa!"
Like you can literally feel your soul ripping off your bones. I don't know if you guys knew, but the soul resides in the bones.
Mm.
The soul resides in the pineal gland, according to Rene Descartes. Joe, thank you so much.
In
So
my
we
penis. My
have
penis.
carpenters with cool future
Which is
tools.
actually a little prescient because that is where a lot of the hormones come from, which is where you feel soulful. And he knew that before
That's-
the advances
that.
in biology from the scientific revolution. Yeah.
But piss is
Um,
in the balls.
Descartes also led to a lot of big problems with his I think, therefore I am, which split the idea of mind and matter. We've all inherited it. Anyway, this is what happens when Steve can't chime in with his... What do you got, Steve?
Well, I was gonna say, wasn't it Oscar Wilde who said pee is stored in the
There.
balls?
I believe it was Oscar Wilde, yeah. It was that or Rilke. Okay.
It is
Alright.
hard just
Let's-
seeing Steve not
let's
be able
sit
to
in
speak,
silence.
though. That's what's been like.
Ah,
Good
I know, I'm
seeing
trying to
him
like
right now.
antagonize him. I'm trying to antagonize Steve in a way that's funny and like makes a funny thing,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to like make it so he has to speak.
hmm
Hey, Steve, what is your favorite part of the opening of the theme song of Saved by the Bell?
Yeah,
He's laughing.
he can't handle it. He wants so bad. There it is!
He does it so well.
Joe, that's very funny. That was very
I have things to talk about, but I know I want Steve to weigh in, so I don't.
What
even
was your
want-
favorite sound from school?
Okay, well, you just
Well,
throw that
depends.
softball up there.
I'm sure you're going to talk about the Book of Mormon, please.
I will. I will talk about my experience at the Book of Mormon, which was a wonderful Broadway play that I watched in L.A. at the Pantages Theater, which was
Beautiful.
amazing. And I could jump into it, Steve, but I feel like you're not going to be able to partake.
Well, I want you to jump into it, Joe, because honestly, this could get old for our listeners. But I do have one question, which
Yes.
is I'm forgetting the lyrics to one of my favorite Christmas carols, and it goes something like jingle bells, jingle, and I can't remember what comes after that. Steve, you're really into Christmas. Do you
He
know
knows it.
what
He was singing it
it's
the
like?
other day.
Jingle bells, jingle.
Don't wait.
bells,
Don't give
jingle?
it to us. Give us like a hint. Can you give us a
Yeah.
hint of what that next line might be?
Right? Yeah, something.
He's thinking. He doesn't want to make it too obvious.
Right.
Right.
He
Make
knows
it
that.
like totally
Make
obscure.
it, yeah.
Like no softballs here.
It's weird because
Oh, what fun! Is it? Oh, what fun it is to ride.
No, it's before that.
After
literally
after
not
Jingle.
that at all. I
Mhm.
know that part. Yeah, it's jingle bells, and then it's like,
And then the next one.
jingle? And I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
Oh man, he's stumped.
Okay, well that's fine.
Oh,
Are-
it's Jingle All the Way.
Oh no!
Jingle All the Way.
Yes, that made sense. That tangentially made sense. All right.
Hey, we got
Yes,
there.
it did.
All right, guys. I went to the
So,
Book of
how was
Mormon. I went to the
How
Book
was
of
it?
Mormon. It was great for a number of reasons. One, I've listened to the soundtrack forever and always been a huge fan of Trey's work. Trey and Matt. It's just Trey's, right? Like Matt. Maybe
I have
Matt
no
part of
idea.
it. Anyways, the South Park folks, in collaboration with the gentleman who helped with the music on Frozen. I forget that guy's name. But anyways.
Oh,
It was amazing. It supported my belief that live musical theater is like the coolest and greatest of human creative endeavors. You got the music, you got the sets, you got the choreography, you got the orchestra, the writing, the
The whole
acting.
theater. I mean,
Oh.
the actual theater, being
Yep.
in an actual theater.
It's so
So-
much fun. The play is way more minimalist than I thought or expected, which is really cool. They still made it work. And then I just left envious. I just like the whole, for the most part, it's there's the two leads originally played by Andrew Reynolds and Josh Gad. But they're also part of this like Mormon contingency, and the whole thing just ends up being this like little boy review where they're singing and dancing and they don't have to sing or dance great, and they're just having fun. It's so good. It's so good. And I was just like, I want to do that. I want to do that.
Isn't there a world where you and I did something like that, Joe? Where you and I were Elder Cunningham and Elder Price?
Shut the fuck up! God, can't fucking hear anything. There's like an alarm going off every time you talk.
But it was wonderful. It was just as funny as you wanted it to be. Oh, is it worse? It's worse. It's worse now.
it's worse. Joe, do you listen to like the soundtrack stuff off, like when you're just driving in the car? Like you
I will.
listen. Do you, Elliot? Do you ever do that?
What?
Listen to musical music like while you're just driving or something, just to listen to it.
Music? What do you mean by music?
Musical.
Like,
Musical.
I think you need to get closer to your mic,
absolutely
Elliot.
not. I absolutely don't. I'm so sorry. I absolutely don't. I absolutely don't.
Oh
But
my
I
God.
should. I will occasionally listen to a soundtrack, but
For
that's
some
not-
reason, whenever I hear a musical song just in the car, I want to die. I hate it so much.
You're the
Like
wrong environment.
Ellie listens to it, and it just makes me cringe, and I hate it.
You want to be dressed up. You want to be in a
I
theater.
I have to
ambiance,
be
folks.
in the theater to really enjoy
Yeah.
that.
Do you
type
guys
of
miss
music.
your hearts?
I think I might.
Well, I
I think
might.
you're being an idiot, Kevin.
I might.
I can't
Because
believe it's
I
still
figured
on.
Steve
cannot
loves
believe
it.
it's still going.
Well,
You're right.
they're
This might be
fixing it.
our worst bit yet.
God, why? Stop.
And it's in Steve's in control. That's the other thing.
Well, he's been. Never mind.
No, what? What, Kevin?
I was gonna say you've been doing okay.
I just want everyone
just-
to know that it was Elliot's idea for us to push through because it would be funny.
It was. The hardest
I
part is
can't
that you're
count-
just here. You're here, so it's like we want you to chime in. It's
Well,
you should just,
yeah.
ugh.
I
And
just
I
want
will
it to
say
stop.
There's been a number of times in my life that more than I can count where I've thought something would be funny, and I was wrong. And I'm
Yeah, but you
wrong
gotta
now.
think about what it does
And I'm
for the
sorry.
greater good. You gotta be like, what does this do for the greater good?
Oh my lord. Steve's on a if
Look.
you're not watching the video feed of this, Steve has his classic Pee-wee's Playhouse background, and it just looks like somebody said the word of the day and then got stuck in a loop.
It was fire.
They don't get to it.
Oh yeah, I don't know that.
Oh, we got another fire truck.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta look. Maybe we're
Yeah, take a
dying.
look.
Maybe
Go
the
check
building.
it out, because
Could
I
you
have
imagine?
a follow
Well, he
up.
didn't even check. He didn't even go outside to check.
All right, what's your follow-up, Elliot? Okay, we have a second. Let's.
Joe, you're talking literally. I mean, I hear beneath the what you're saying, the subtext, which is your desire to be a musical theater performing artist.
I just think it would be so much fun.
I never got to
Well,
see
and you're
that
good at
full
it.
side of Joe.
You're good
and
at
I
it.
never got to see that.
It's there.
The full
Like Joe could do whatever they were doing
that.
so well. Yeah,
It would be
Yeah,
very, very
he's
fun.
got it.
And it's the type of musical that I could thrive in because, again, your musical singing abilities do not have to be spot on.
I was just gonna ask that because I don't know about your singing.
Not great. I can carry a tune, but not very far.
Yeah.
Not very far, but you can do it. And also, I think in those environments, people are looking for more authenticity, more roughness, more kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're not judging you based on technical talent. They're judging you based on the overall package, which I feel like when it comes to musical theater, you could do splendidly.
There's a life versus grind scenario that, as of now, I probably would not be able to balance. Like, I think once you have a family, doing touring musical theater is very, 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 very hard. He's back.
He's back.
And
No, he's not. He just wanted to.
I've heard many.
Nah. He's trying to hide out of the camera. We can see your hand moving in, dude.
I've heard many stories of people that, once the being the patriarch of the family part.
Sorry, Joe.
Bad.
Hang on.
Now it's bad. I'm just gonna mute it in the edit.
Oh, what an asshole! Now he's an asshole.
Now I have to edit it.
Dude, the ad read is gonna suck.
Just do the ad read right now.
He's putting the final nail in the coffin of this podcast. We're not going to be able to make it through the ad.
No.
I was
heard
interested in
once the patriarch
HelloFresh.
once the patriarch part of your life is over, you can go and do other things like maybe join some theater and try that again when you're older. Brendan Gleeson was a teacher until he was like 40 plus, and then he was in Braveheart and became a massive actor. So who knows?
Oh, I didn't know. That's cool. Who'd you say?
Brendan Gleeson.
The old guy?
The Mad Eye Moody from
Mad Eye Moody. That sounds like, yeah, Mad Eye Moody. Okay, yeah. Oh,
What
he's
a
so
good
cool.
guy.
What was
so
that show
cool.
he did? He's a Northern Irish guy. He's from Belfast.
Yeah, he's done everything. He's got a good he's got a new movie out, I think, with Colin Farrell. McDonough pick.
I believe another Northern Irish guy, maybe a Southern Irish guy. But anyway, so Steve, how are things going? Let's check in.
We know what's happening. We know what's happening.
Oh no, I'm just curious. I haven't heard from him.
We just went
you
through
guys
hell.
keep trying to snuff. You guys keep trying to not listen to Steve. Steve, I would like to hear.
I don't want to hear what he has to say. He's an asshole. Is he gonna type it in chat?
Oh man,
His big ass pee poo poo hat, just staring at us.
I can't believe we're like less than 20 minutes into this.
Are we really?
Guys, did you watch White Lotus?
no,
I need to start it.
All right, never mind.
Have you started it, Joe?
Try to derail.
I've watched the first season. Have not watched the second season.
Is the first season good, or is it one where you have to slowly get into it?
It's fine. Watch. I'm not on the White Lotus train like everybody else that thought it was the best thing that was ever made. It's still fun. It's still a good watch. I'm glad I watched it, but people are like,
all right, we're gonna start it.
People think it's
choo.
transcendent.
I'm on the train, and it's pretty nice over here on the White Lotus train.
On the second
season, the second season ends in arguably one of the funniest things I've ever seen on television, and I highly recommend it to be. And I was the one who was told over and over again, go watch White Lotus because of how great it is, and I never did because I don't like listening to other people's opinions, even when they're right. And it turns out,
Steve, hold on.
He's holding. We got an update. Steve's
we'll give him. He has his hand up.
Now it's his thumb. Politely. Now he's back to the pointer finger. Now he's touching.
Kevin. Okay. Rude. Second, yes, the alarm is still going off. I have a good feeling that it will stop very soon. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I love you, Dad. I love my dad.
All right.
That's going back to the beginning of the podcast.
That's awesome.
Actually, I think
Thank you for sharing that.
we're gonna roll forward with this. And Steve, I'm gonna throw a question out to the group now, and you can start formulating your answer because
Yeah.
I think you'll have an opinion on it.
Please type it out. That's so funny.
Speaking of entertainment, I was recently thinking about the concept of going to the movies and how I don't
Dude, did you?
urge to do it as much as I used to,
Yeah.
even though I love it. Avatar 2 is coming out. Big
Actually-
movie-going experience. Do you guys find that you want to go to the movies to experience this stuff anymore, or has the movie-going experience died for you due to the pandemic and the type of movies that are being released into theaters these days?
Specific movies like Avatar, I really do want to see in theaters. Also, movies that like I know are gonna be big, like big action, big sound. I really want to see it in the theaters still. That said, like it's that I barely go to the theaters. It maybe happens like 4 times a year now, comparatively.
Yeah, totally. I would say, I hate to be the most basic opinion here, but I do believe that Avatar: The Way of the Water just doesn't appeal to me like at all. So if I am going to see it, I'll go to the theater because I'm definitely never going to watch it at home. However, I went through a lot of work to try to figure out when we came back from Thanksgiving to see Glass Onion in the theaters because it was
That
in
was
theaters
like
for
2
a week.
seconds. Yeah.
It infuriated me. And
That
I
was
was like, I don't get it. And now it's coming out on Netflix. I'm gonna watch on Netflix, and that's fine. But I really wanted to see that movie because I love Knives Out so much that
And I've
so
heard it's great.
that
People are saying it's
I
great.
want to see in theaters.
So
So like
that was-
it's only when I want to go to the theater to see it.
Wait, Steve.
Steve has
hold on, he
something.
was
Sorry,
trying to-
sorry, Joe. I'm sorry.
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, Steve, what do you got?
I definitely miss going to the movies. A lot. I always make sure to have a lot of fun when I go to the movies, with friends, etc. Avatar 2 needs to be seen on the biggest, loudest screen possible.
Yeah.
There will always be movies that demand to be seen on the big screen.
Totally.
Good point, Steve. But that also brings
That's
up a
kinda
point that I wanted
sad.
to talk about.
It's like Steve got into like a really bad accident.
accident. That's all I was thinking about.
So, but that's a point that I wanted to make with you,
Yeah, I
Ellie.
agree, Steve. Yeah, buddy.
Thanks for contributing, big guy. Don't worry,
Don't
you're
let
still
that
part of the
happen to
group.
me. Don't let that happen to me.
We'll kill you. Don't worry.
Don't
Steve.
let that happen to me.
We'll kill you. We'll kill you.
Man, why does it have to be an action movie? Which is why I'm glad you
Don't
brought
let
up.
that happen to me.
We won't, Steve.
Go
Steve, we're
on.
not going to let that happen to you. Why
Never.
does it have to be a big action movie? Why does it got to be a big loud movie? Like Knives Out isn't necessarily that. It's still a spectacle because of the cast, which is really cool. But also like romantic comedies, things that elicit emotion, sadness. It's still like there's a spectacle to sharing that with other human beings in like
Well,
this
yeah,
totally
show me a
foreign
romantic
experience.
comedy to go.
Yeah, there
But
is.
where's
There
the
has.
romantic comedy? Romantic
yeah.
comedy. That genre is
That's
dead.
true too. That's true too. Is that the type of fare that is?
I
in the
watched
theaters is
a
tough.
significant. I watched a significant amount of Lindsay Lohan's new Christmas movie.
In the theater.
And it starts out she's like a rich girl and she falls in. It didn't make it quite to theaters, but she ends up falling in love with like a widower ski lodge owner and like leaves her life behind of like riches and finds like the meaning of Christmas again.
Oh.
But if
Would
that
you
was
have-
in theaters,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
See, I
not. It's one of the worst movies.
I agree. I think like seeing a rom-com or even a comedy in the theaters, I don't know if I ever will do that.
Oh my goodness, really? Seeing a comedy, I remember seeing
Like
Anchorman.
a Seth Rogen comedy.
Seeing something with
Yeah,
a,
Anchorman
with
is-
a
I would-
packed,
yeah.
a packed theater with a bunch of people that
Yeah.
are all laughing at
I'm
the
with
same
Joe.
time.
I'm with you, Joe.
That I think it
Yeah.
might be better than seeing an action movie
Damn.
if
I really-
everybody's
this ma-
laughing.
This conversation though, and just based on what I've seen on Twitter, how like Spielberg and a bunch of other like people have had movies come out this past month and like they're already gone from theaters because nobody's going to see them. And I think it's
No,
like
it's
truly it's gonna be done. I think theaters are truly like in 100 years gonna be.
Nah.
I don't know how.
Maybe
how.
100 years.
That's what
Maybe
I mean. Not
100
not
years.
like in our like my lifetime. I don't think I'll see them disappear, but I think my grandkids, possibly, yeah.
Steve, did you have something to say?
He has something to say.
I think there will always be a place for art to be viewed, for every medium. Old and new. Museums exist still. Even though we can download art. The movie theater experience is a shared, enjoyed human experience. It will last the tides of time. At least for the next 50 or so years. I love my dad.
You know, it makes Steve sound... You sound very, like, smart and articulate with this.
God dang it.
Like, I respect you a lot more.
That looks
I
exactly
respect
like the peach
Steve right
emoji.
now.
Ah, man.
Steve, I like the point that you made was it will last the tides of time
Man.
for like 30 years.
You get it, Elliot? You find it?
Did
Yeah.
you find what you were looking
Okay.
for,
Yeah.
buddy? Good.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks for
We
asking.
did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's just
Steve.
something. Oh, go ahead, Elliot. Go ahead.
Well, no. Please keep going.
No,
Joe,
I
that's
was
more
just going to
important.
say there's something, again, like Steve said, the communal experience, but also I'm going to keep using the word, the foreign experience of watching something not in front of your freaking screen at home. It feels different. It feels like you are living and experiencing something new with other people. And and the popcorn, man, you can't replicate it anywhere else.
That's a good
You really
point.
can't. I don't care what those boxes in the grocery store say about movie theater, whatever. That's not the same as movie
No.
theater popcorn.
Bunch of
And-
dirty lies.
Talk about our friend Chris being in Book of Mormon.
Yeah, that's a
That
great
was
point
just
too,
your
Steve.
conscience.
Yeah, Steve, that's awesome. That's a great point. Yeah, our buddy Chris was also in Book of Mormon. That's a
Chris
cool
who?
thing to bring up.
Chris
Yeah, 'cause
McCaleb?
we love him and we love. Yeah, no.
No, not Crispy Caleb. That's a different.
Chris,
that's a different
his last name
Book
is
of
Ann
Mormon.
Paul.
Chris?
Oh, there.
Book of Mormon.
Chris.
Yeah, Steve. Yes, it's the Book of
Um,
Mormon.
I would
Book of
support
Mormon.
your.
Book of
Hey,
Mormon.
Hey, we do love it. We do love it.
Really good.
I would say in support of your point, Joe, and I'm so sorry about the way Steve is, trying.
The Book of Mormon.
He's struggling. He's struggling right now. And it's tough.
Sometimes the technology
we love
doesn't
him.
work the way that we want it to work.
Yeah, and when he's in the
He's
right
trying.
frame, he's
The
still
book
really.
of
He's still
the book of
Steve, like,
the book of
No.
Mor- the book of Mormon.
Just try
I
and
just
push
feel like-
through it. Just try and push through it, Elliot. Ignore it.
as we become more screen addicted.
Yes.
I think there will be a renaissance of movie-going experiencers as a result of there being like a midway between watching a movie in a theater and looking at screens. So you still get the comfort of being like entertained automatically, but you don't have to like you don't have to feel bad about like, look at how much I'm on my phone. Obviously, I'm projecting a little bit, movie theater pun, but I would say I think that there's good reason to believe that the movie theater experience will continue on for many, many decades after this. Steve, what do you think?
Joe, mention the Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon.
God.
I'm thinking about like kids who have grown up though,
Joe.
not used to going to
Yes, Steve.
not used to go.
Steve has something to say to Joe specifically.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
buddy.
Joe.
What's
Sorry,
up?
Kevin, push
Joe.
through.
Yeah, no. I want Joe.
Joe.
Listen.
Yeah,
Listen,
champ.
Joe.
Joe. The
Yeah,
Book
yeah,
of
buddy.
Mormon.
Yeah, I went. It was good. It was good, buddy. Yeah, I went to it. Went with my
The
wife.
Book of Mormon. The book of
Such a dark. It's actually a really dark.
It's
premise
really,
of it.
but I love it. I love it.
the book of
Hey, Steve, buddy, contemplate on this question I'm about to ask, and then hit us with an
Yeah.
answer after the other
Yeah,
two
yeah,
go.
yeah.
You are only allowed to watch one genre of film in the movie theaters moving forward for the rest of your life. What are you watching? Comedy, action, horror, romantic comedies, epic historical biographies,
Can I do, like-
IMAX documentaries.
Action / comedy, like Edgar Wright movies.
Comedy.
Nice.
Is that just comedy?
Your answer is comedy.
All right, comedy. Damn.
I
but that-
also to piggyback, I would agree, and I'm worried that because I feel like Steve just writing a whole dissertation right now, but
Well,
I would
yes,
say I agree with you, Kevin, because I feel like every genre has a whole scoop of crap, and I would say that comedy. I have a heart. I could never watch a comedy by myself and find it as funny as if I did if I went out, buy a ticket, got popcorn, and laughed with a bunch of people. You know what I mean? It's about the communal aspect.
Yeah, is there
But I'm more
anything better than watching like Jackass in the theater or like
exactly
Bruno?
like
That's
some
so interesting.
like
I don't have that thought
yeah,
at all.
because you're just agreeing like yeah, you're agreeing like oh we all think this shit's dumb and stupid and funny too, right? And then you get to laugh harder because you're freed. Whereas at home, I'm like, this is immature. They shouldn't be doing that. That's dangerous. He's gonna have
That's
permanent
so
damage.
interesting. Because what if I like? I'm thinking about like Dune, even, and like Interstellar, and like those movies. Like I would miss seeing those in the theater so much. Because that's my
Yeah.
reason of going to the theaters is getting immersed into the world, as opposed
Lord of
to
the
like,
Rings.
Yeah, as opposed to like just the communal.
When
aspect
have
of it.
you? When would you watch Dune at home? I saw Dune 3 times.
Exactly.
I don't remember a second. That movie was
Shit.
boring as shit.
Did you? So you watched
Anyway.
it on a laptop or whatever? On your TV?
Dude, I watched it in 4DX.
Oh.
I
Well, no
I
wonder
watched
you
it
didn't
in
remember
theater
anything.
4DX. The chair stabbed me in the back.
Dude, that
When
40X
scenes
is
were going
insane.
on. Like with a plunge. Like anyway, guys, I want to get to what Steve thinks about it, but first, I would love to tell you about something if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if
What
you
is
guys
it?
have ever heard of. Well, it's called HelloFresh.
Oh, yeah.
Now you might go, what is HelloFresh? Well, I would say with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why, folks, it's America's #1 meal kit. That's right. It's the most festive time of the year, and HelloFresh is here to make the most of every moment and milk the most of every moment. From holiday
it.
hosting to dinners during busy weeknights, you can count on HelloFresh to deliver fresh ingredients and seasonal recipes.
Busy.
Also, believe this or not, HelloFresh can help you eat better amid all the holiday temptations. Yeah, their meals have 20% fewer calories than takeout, so you can still find full flavor, but without the guilt. Also, if you're short on time, look for HelloFresh's quick and easy options, like 20-minute meals and easy cleanup dishes. Big on flavor and easy on effort, these time-saving solutions mean more time with friends and family around the holidays. Well, Elliot, how do we get this? How do we help support y'all's podcast, especially during the holiday season? Well, I'll tell you all about it, guys. All you have to do is remember that I personally had HelloFresh last night. It was a creamy pasta dish with street corn, Mexican street corn. It was absolutely wonderful.
Whoa.
Brag.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, and I will
Stop.
probably have it tonight. And so if you want to be a part of that, maybe we can eat together vicariously. All you have to do is go to HelloFresh.com/Valleycast18 and use code Valleycast18 for 18 free meals plus free shipping. That's right. Well, Joe, you said what? Well, let me tell you about it. You go to HelloFresh.com/Valleycast18 and use code Valleycast18 for 18 free meals plus free shipping. It's America's #1 meal kit. And if you use that code, it helps us continue this podcast into the new year so we can see if maybe even then Steve's alarm goes off. Thanks, everybody. Back to the show. Steve, what do you have to say about all this movie theater talk?
Joe asked, if you could only watch one genre of movie in the theater, what would that be? For me, it's horror. All the way. Although action is meant for the big screen more than any of the genres. But I can enjoy comedy and action with friends in VR, or in my apartment. But horror in the theater is a special experience.
I agree.
Like a comedy experience, but movie comedy is annoying now. I can laugh for real and be scared at a horror movie in the theater. The Book of Mormon. Joe mentioned the Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon.
Mormon. Joe. Mention Joe.
Hey.
Mormon. Book of Joe. The Book of Mormon.
Oh, it's so funny.
How?
It's so
I'm actually
funny.
impressed that Steve is still because he's had to sit in it. He hasn't had it on mute in his ears, in his own ears.
I feel like, honestly, like jokes and bits aside, like Steve, you deserve a little bit of credit for not murdering every single person that you can see.
It's been almost an hour straight.
Oh, that's very funny. Steve, I agree with a lot of the things you said. I do
We all
believe
had
that
a
there was
different thing, though.
Well, there was a little bit of an old man opinion. Get off my lawn in there. Did you hear that?
Movies
Comedy
aren't funny
today
anymore.
isn't funny anymore. I don't like comedy. Do you guys like my Steve Zaragoza?
Sounds just like the robot.
Joe asked if you could only watch.
No. Nope. So what'd you guys do this week for talking points?
Well, I did have another question for Steve.
Could it be for everybody? While
It
Steve
could
writes
be,
his answer.
but I feel like it's based on what Steve just said regarding comedy and not finding it necessary.
Yes, let's stay in it.
I worry, and I mean no offense by this, that like the same way a, let's say, podunk fundamentalist hyper religious person says like porn doesn't do it for me anymore because I've seen all the porn. Is this an example of you having you're so inundated with comedy, it's so full in you that you have an inability to reduce yourself to comedy for normies? Like, are you okay with comedy for normies? And I think that's a very important question.
I see what you're saying.
We need to.
He's gonna use his voice. He's gonna really speak. He's gonna really speak, guys.
Yeah, but I think
the thing
is that what I think the thing is that I think the thing is that there just hasn't been like a funny feature film in a long time. Like, what was the last comedy feature film that made you like laugh your ass off and you could consider a well-made comedy?
Jackass.
Yeah.
Probably Jackass.
Yeah. But Jackass is really a diamond in the rough.
It's not a plot.
And it's still like a different form of comedy.
And it's not a genre of movie that's being made and released in theaters. I think
it's not like scripted comedy.
I'm not saying that comedy is dead or whatever. I'm just saying that in movies, like, the comedy is annoying to me now. It's not like I'm annoyed by movie comedy now because it doesn't feel like it's appealing to the largest possible audience.
Yeah, I would piggyback on this and say I do not like comic relief when I know that it's comic relief, and most movies now just have like we said something funny.
They just get these comedians in the room when they're editing the movie or when they're writing the script, and then they go like, how do we make this funnier, Patton Oswalt? Patton Oswalt, what's a line you would add into this Thor movie that people would like tweet at their friends afterwards? And they do that kind of a pass on movies now. And it's funny, like sometimes Marvel movies have really funny jokes in them or whatever, but I'm annoyed by it.
But now it's like a genre of doing
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because there isn't like a good comedy in theaters.
Well, there is not a comedy voice that is taken the mantle, right?
I agree.
Because comedy has moved to the internet and stuff.
I guess that's part of it, but like there was like Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey, they all had their like grasp on it for a while. Apatow and his group, there was groups, but you could not tell me right now who has the grasp of comedy right now and who is moving it forward.
You know what I think happened? I think we got to a point where we gave audiences too many options for comedy. Not that this is a bad thing, but I think we gave people too many comedy options. I think the reason why the comedies that we love of yesterday are so good is because they were making them and they were the only people making them. And in the American audience, the American markets, they were showing the comedies that they wanted to show people. And if they wanted any other kind of comedy, they'd have to really look for it. So we were given like whatever comedy the movie industries felt like they were okay with us having. And it was a very specific type of comedy for a really long time. And then it branched out and then all these studios started making comedies and everybody got their flavors in there. But I still think that there were less options for comedy styles. Now we have every flavor of comedy you could possibly get from any platform. And it's harder to make a movie that zeroes in on that.
It's super. Yeah, there's niche pockets. Here's a thought that just came to my mind. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if I believe this hypothesis that I'm about to throw out there, but maybe this has something to do with it as well. So, Marvel movies have totally just obliterated and rearranged and changed what a movie-going experience is over the last 20 years and what the expectations are of the youth when they go to the theater, yada, yada, yada. The thing about a Marvel movie and all this superhero genre is that it is fulfilling the bucket of character, like big characters that are not just Joe Schmo walking down the street, right? So it's like guy in costume just happens to be a superhero, happens to have comedy in it, Guardians of the Galaxy, all this stuff, where the comedies before the superhero genre were kind of doing that, like SNL bringing big characters in funny costumes to the screen, Austin Powers, Talladega Nights, like Wayne's World, stuff like that, where it was like still humans, but like this elevated like cosplay version of the actual human experience, just elevated to another stage. So maybe there could be this like character burnout or unwillingness by the studios to go that direction because it's all going into,
and there isn't like a character really that's like captured the like Twitterverse or the social media world
for comedy
in a long time. Like I can't even think of the last
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
And he kind of did it the last thing he kind of did it with was that This Is America show, not even a movie.
You know who could have done it and grabbed it by the balls and fucking ran with it is
Toby Turner. What?
Chris Lilly. You know Chris Lilly, the guy, the Australian guy that did all those like the
Book of Mormon?
No, the school, he's that Australian comedian that played all the characters.
No, I know who you're talking about. What's his name?
Jamay. His name is Chris Lilly, but the character's name is Jamay.
Yeah. The
Summer Heights High.
That was short-lived.
It was Summer Heights High, and then the spin-off of Summer Heights High was Jamay, about a character he played named Jamay. And those characters were incredible, but it turned out that he was like kind of doing like blackface.
Nope.
It's super offensive. It was offensive in every way.
Really offensive. And I guess the Australian people were like, why?
Oh, God.
They're like, what's offensive about this? You guys are uptight. Because in Australia,
it's not like
they don't give a
different. Same in the UK. Like they're not.
Yeah, they're like, why do you think? What's racist about this?
They don't get. Yeah, we're a little unique in our sensitivities in that.
I also think you should be able to make a little bit of a joke about certain things if you have the right people involved in your show and the right voices writing those jokes. But anyway.
It took 5 minutes after your alarm went off for you to cancel yourself, Steve. It is crazy.
People should be allowed to make jokes if they have the right voices making them.
So I'm just going to consolidate your quote here, Serge, because again, I got to post this on social media. So Steve Zaragoza, everything's okay, including blackface.
No way.
He's playing a sound now. That'd be incredible.
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but I screwed up the my batteries ran out, and also my card went full, so the audio is gonna be horrible from my end, Kevin. And
got it.
Also, my card got full right in the middle of the ad. So that
I'm just gonna use the Zoom audio, and we'll be golden. I wouldn't even click record again on that thing.
Okay. Well, all right. I feel like I'm not being heard if I'm not being heard.
No,
no.
I can
mention
adjust.
The Book of Mormon. Mormon, Joe. Mention Joe.
I like that one.
Mormon.
I like the girl's
Book
voice
of Joe.
too, though.
The Book of Mormon.
I don't even know how you're doing that.
It's just text to speech.
But through
which has
Zoom.
gotten so much better over the years.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Joe, I'm so happy you saw Book of Mormon. That was your first time?
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. Isn't it so wonderful?
It's wonderful, and I left the theater going, I wish I could have walked into it not knowing anything about it.
Oh, did that ruin it a little for you?
No. I just wish I could have that experience.
Because you wish you could have gone in completely blind.
There's people that went into that theater, I guarantee it,
and
not
had no
knowing
idea what they were about to see.
what the hell they were about to get into.
Yeah. And my favorite thing is
Steve, Joe, Elliot.
the playbill for Book of Mormon, wherever it plays, correct me if I'm wrong, this might only be for its original runs or whatever, but in the playbill, do you have it, Joe?
I might have.
I think
one
he's
around.
looking
See
if you can find it.
Okay, you keep talking.
Yeah, in the playbill, the Mormon, the Church of Latter-day Saints took an ad out in it to be added into the playbill for Book of Mormon whenever it runs, and it says, "You've seen the show, now read the book."
Wow.
So they're like we enjoy this fun play, like
That's great.
They like were good sports about it. Isn't that kind of interesting? Because it's like that's the best way a religion can react to something like that, is to just not be cringe and be like, we must shut this down, the devil's inside these children. Like, just be like, you know what, okay, if you like it, come look at our shit, whatever,
Didn't
just
find
accept it. Accept
it. Because it's people going, oh, we made fun of this thing that we don't know about, and then you've laughed about this thing you don't know about, and then they're going, well, hey, you like the punchline? Come read the setup.
Yeah,
come read the premise.
You really want to understand the joke?
It's really smart.
I would respect these religions a lot more if they approached their message in a more human way, in
theatrical,
a
musical way,
human way. Appeal to the human, appeal to a human mind. We're just all afraid, and we're all scared about what happens when we die.
You're gonna love Christianity, Steve.
Really? Can you send me some documentation?
Can we?
I will. I actually have a Bible here, but it is about the human and God unity.
The connection.
Yeah.
I have a pitch for a Mr. Beast video.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this is one of the worst or one of the best podcasts we've ever done, but I do believe it's one or the other.
It's not quite the one where the machine was going crazy below us.
Elliot's a glass half full and half empty kind of guy.
It could be anything.
Did we say, what did you guys say about White Lotus? You didn't watch it?
I haven't watched
Joe
second
hasn't.
season yet.
You guys can all go fuck yourselves if you haven't seen it, because you're missing out on a wonderful show. First of all, an incredible character study, a very well directed, well written, well acted show, featuring
well scored
our queen bee, Jennifer Coolidge, who I think should win every motherfucking award you can give to an actor for their
Have
performance.
you seen the finale of
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the finale?
Oh yeah, man.
Finale of season 2?
Yeah. I watched it the night it dropped. Me and Owen were we had a little get together. We fucked each other, and then we watched White Lotus.
All right, okay. Which is
the Book of Mormon. The Book of
very
Mormon.
much a White Lotus.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If you watch White Lotus, it's not just a crass joke.
Relevant.
Owen and I made love before we watched.
Also, White Lotus, but it is, dude. That scene, the ending of that,
incredible.
I was like,
incredible,
unable to control my I was like, I don't even know why I think this is the funniest thing, but also so sad.
I was simultaneously sad and I couldn't stop laughing, but I was also man, this was the only possible end for that character, I think.
Exactly.
The finale of Taskmaster was also really good. Fuck you guys.
Oh, was it, Joe?
Really?
Did they say something silly? Did they say something silly and it was was funny?
Yes.
Did you
Good.
also watch something good? Oh.
What's your go? Oh, before we go, because we should definitely do that. What is everybody's favorite Christmas movie? I just want to know because next week is Christmas. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that next fucking
we'll do a podcast
is
before.
next week is basically Christmas Eve.
Okay.
I know, Joe. I know. Time to freak out. You're like, fuck, did I get all the gifts? I should have, is Amazon ready primed and ready?
Look.
Pun intended. But yes,
Should
please,
we do-
everybody get your Christmas shopping done. And next week is going to be our Christmas episode. And then I guess we'll say Merry Christmas to you all. But I want to know what everyone's favorite Christmas movie is. Go.
I'm between Elf and Christmas Story. Because I like watching Elf with people, and then Christmas Story might just be the top as my personal favorite.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Story's cool. Elf sucks. Joe, what do you got?
Everybody hates Elf.
The answer in my heart is It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm joking.
It's a Wonderful Life
Nice.
is the
Well,
answer in my heart because it connects me also to my dad. It was one of his favorite movies, but I acknowledge that it's not the most fun one to sit down and just be like, I'm
Yeah.
going to watch It's a Wonderful Life tonight.
You know that was one of the lowest budget movies ever made during that
Yeah.
time? They had no expectation of being a hit at all.
It wasn't. It was a total flop. And then later on,
That's what it was. I just made up everything
Whoa,
else
it
around
was
the
a
general
flop.
idea
That's
of what I.
crazy.
huge flop.
Yeah, it was a
flop.
huge flop. Yeah, one of the biggest flops.
Elliot, I just want you to know that I
Capper.
believe you no matter what you say.
You shouldn't, apparently, because I often have found out to be wrong. But
I also really like Scrooged.
Yeah.
I will go Grinch for sure.
Well, which
which
one?
Yeah, there's
Jim
like
Carrey.
90 of them. The Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey, okay.
I love Jim
solid.
Carrey one.
Solid.
It's
That's
so
not a wrong
good.
answer.
Now, my question is, do we do real quick Secret Santa and get one of us get the other
Oh,
one
for the next episode.
a
And then we'll-
Christmas present?
that's a really fun idea.
We just Amazon. We all have Amazon. We just
This is-
Amazon. We Amazon some gifts.
I
They
think
don't
we
know.
should
limit.
Amazon a gift to each other. Like, let's figure out who gets who. Is that a secret?
Or we go. I don't know what order. We can just
Yeah,
look
what order are
clockwise.
we in?
Like
I get
according
Joe.
to clockwise, I would get for Joe. Joe would get for Kevin. Kevin would get for Steve, and Steve would get for me. But we can also not start with me. We can go Steve. Well, it's the same thing because that's how
It's really the
circles
same.
work.
Let's let
know
the
in the-
audience.
let's
Let's
know
let
in
the
the
audience
comments.
choose. Let's let the audience choose.
Well, I don't. Should we do that? Should we let the audience? We're never gonna do it if we let the audience choose.
Well, let's here. What
No,
if
we'll
I
just
do?
do-
What if I do a randomizer? There's got to be like a Secret Santa generate randomizer. There it is. Secret Santa randomizer.
Wow.
There better not be.
There absolutely
There's gotta
is, you
be.
piece of shit. Yes, here it is. All right. Enter your name. Enter names. Okay, here's my name.
Okay, that's a good start. I like that.
And then enter
Elliot.
draw names with. Okay, enter member 2, Elliot.
Oh, great,
Number
great
3,
follow
number
up.
4.
Joe.
Who else do cheese?
Oh, beautiful.
Finish it off.
Kevin. Add
And
more
the
names if you
audience.
can. Okay. Number of draws 1. Everyone draws 1 name. 2. Everyone draws 2 names or none. Or decide later. Everyone can sign up first.
Getting too
No.
complicated. Too complicated.
Yeah.
Fine. Thank you.
So what is
You
it?
have to
Everyone.
sign up.
So it's everyone draws 1 name.
Everyone draws one name in it.
Okay. An exclusion indicates you may not draw whom.
my
Do not
God.
use exclusions.
Oh my goodness.
What is this?
Some
is this?
programmer.
Exhausting.
Some
This is
programmer was
exhausting.
like, I'm gonna make
Can
the
I just?
best, most precise Secret
Yeah.
Santa randomizer
Wow. Yeah. This is
ever.
like this
It's
is
gonna be
more than we'll,
perfect.
this is more than we'll ever need. It's not working. It's not working. I hate this. I hate this.
my
I don't want.
God.
I'm bailing out. I'm bailing out. I'm bailing out.
Just
What's
do what
wrong
Elliot
with the
said.
clockwise?
No, I
Elliot,
got
Get
a better. I've got.
clockwise.
I found a better one. It's called SneakySanta.com.
I hope it's the same thing as
I get Joe. Joe
You're
gets Kevin.
saying,
Kevin
yeah.
gets Steve. Steve gets Elliot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
God damn it.
The Book of Mormon.
I feel like we're emphasizing the secret part of the Secret Santa, but I feel like we could just say, "I'll get Joe. Joe gets Kevin. Kevin
Kevin.
gets
I love
Steve.
it.
and
Steve gets Elliot.
and I would bet money we will forget about this the moment we're done recording,
I'm not
and
gonna
that's
forget
okay
about
too.
it.
So can we say a money limit though, because that makes it funny and makes it fun?
Like $2.
and
Like $350, $400, something like
I'd
that.
say I was gonna say $7K.
Yeah, I mean, based on how we're doing all together,
Can we say a $7K limit?
I say no limit whatsoever.
Oh.
You can't do that. Don't do that.
I think we can. I think because that means you can
I think
go
we can.
You can do $4, or you can do $400.
$4 it is.
I have a
If
book
anybody
about.
goes over
Because we all
like
know,
20 bucks.
we all know. It's not like if I get a
Yeah,
present
that's
from
true.
you, I'm
We
gonna
know
give a
who's
shit.
I have a book about whiskey that I'm just gonna hand to you, Elliot.
Fine.
With $450 in it.
With $7,000 in it.
Cool.
You know what you've done to me, Elliot? Now I'm going to spend the next week stressing the fuck out of what's going to be the perfect gift to get for Steve. And I'm going to be dying inside.
Excuse me. I would like to say, first of all, excuse me. My favorite Christmas movie is a toss-up between Home Alone and A Muppet Family Christmas. You can throw Emmett Otter's Jug
Muppet
Band
Family
Christmas in there, but it's so good.
Yeah. I agree with what you said, Steve, and also Kevin. I would say that buying a Christmas gift for the lovable comedian that you know who just said he hates comedy movies is going to be difficult. So good luck.
Thanks, everybody.
Book of
I
Mormon.
don't believe it anymore.
HelloFresh. HelloFresh.
All right.
Book of Mormon.
HelloFresh.
Book of Mormon.
Bye, everybody.
Joe, Book of Mormon. Joe, I love my dad.